Opposition to the Third Home Rule Bill. Religious concerns. Home rule is Rome rule. Irish Unionists revived traditional slogan, but will evidence exist to show that they believe this? Alexander McCann case, 1910. Roman Catholic married Belfast Protestant. He left his wife and took 3 kids. Unionist propaganda said McCann, encouraged by the Roman Catholic clergy under Ne Temer papal decree of 1908, which meant children of mixed marriages to be brought up as Roman Catholics. Redmond said nothing about the case. This encouraged Unionists to see home rule as Rome rule. Paul Bew, the historian, blames some IPP politicians in the way they seem to ignore such cases. Orange Order influence. By the 1900s, it was very much a Protestant organisation, strong in Ulster. Unionist leaders realised its importance, helped get the vote out at elections, was made respectable by many Protestant clergy as members, linked to the Unionist Party by the UUC, Ulster Unionist Council. Of original 200 members of the UUC, 50 were from the Orange Order. Covenant. September 1912. Humbly relying on their God. Lots of Protestant clergy sign it. Papers pick up atmosphere of God's chosen people. This showed the religious concern with Unionists against nationalists against home rule. Sectarian violence. Summer 1912. 2,000 Roman Catholic ship workers were thrown out of their jobs in response to attacks on a Protestant school trip. This showed the rank and file believed home rule was Rome rule. Sectarian Unionist leaders' discourse. Paul Bew, historian, described the discourse, the speeches and writings of the time by Unionist leaders as bitter, nasty and sectarian about the IPP in Redmond. This made compromise difficult. Carson. No creed, no matter how lofty, should be forced on us against our will. This is a quote from Carson against the Home Rule Bill. Economic reasons. Unionists worried that home rule would destroy their livelihoods. Need UK business. Belfast industry, sold mainly to the UK and the Empire. The rest of Ireland was mainly agricultural and didn't buy Ulster goods. Arthur Griffith and others described the need for protective trade barriers in the south to allow embryonic Irish industry to grow. If this happened under home rule, it would make Belfast goods expensive to Great Britain. Factories would be ruined and jobs lost, so it wasn't just big businesses worried. Southern Unionists. They could lose estates. Southern Unionists tended to be big landowners, like Lord Lansdowne had a big estate in Kerry. Would home rule mean that they would be forced to give up their land to Irish farmers? If so, they became against home rule. Political reasons. Unionists in Ireland would be in a minority in any home rule parliament. Conservatives desperate to unite party and defeat Liberals. This explains why the Conservatives joined with the Unionists. Anti-home rule was the perfect issue all Conservatives could unite behind. Churchill, quote, "The Conservatives hate the government and are bitterly determined to defeat it." 1913. The Conservatives were defeated in 3 elections between 1906 and 1910. They talked of never holding office again. There was bitterness over the Parliament Act of 1911. The Tories bruised over defeat of power of the House of Lords, and they wanted revenge on the Liberals. Tariff reform split Conservatives over free trade versus protection for industry. And Bonar Law, the new leader in 1911, had links to Ulster because his father was a minister in Coleraine and had an aggressive style prepared to take the fight to the Liberals and support the Conservatives. Would home rule destroy the Empire? Unionists north and south, along with Conservatives, worried that home rule would threaten the Empire. What other colonies would demand self-government? Like a row of dominoes, the Empire would fall. Once again, you hold the past for the Empire. Bonar Law's quote to the Unionists, April 1912. Home rule just the first step to independence, as it was not the ultimate aim. Carson claimed that there is no halfway house between the Union and independence. The principle of consent. If nationalists had the right to self-determination, didn't Unionists not have the similar right in the North East? If nationalists of Northern Ireland are entitled to separate treatment as against us, the ground is far stronger for separate treatment of Ulster. Bonar Law quote, 1912. The historian Moneypenny describes the crisis over home rule as a tragedy between 2 great rights. IPP and Liberal mistakes. You can argue that the Unionist opposition weaknesses actually encouraged their resistance. IPP mistakes. Ireland as a unit. Redmond denied Ulster's right to partition. He felt that the minority could not stop the majority's democratic right. Quote, Ireland is a unit. The two-nation theory is to us a blasphemy. They underestimated Ulster resolve. Redmond saw Ulster as a rock to be blasted out of the way. Dillon and Devlin, MP for West Belfast, agreed that Ulster resistance was bluff. Unionists kept raising the stakes after this. No plan B. They had no alternative to an All-Ireland Home Rule. The IPP allowed the Liberals to fight their battle. Liberals could give compromises for the IPP then tell them after. When partition solution became likely, the IPP were surprised. Liberals' mistakes. Asquith's wait-and-see tactic that he used. He planned to sit in the sidelines, let things develop, and if compromise was needed, give it at last minute. This gave initiative to the Unionists. Appease the IPP. Asquith preferred to reassure the IPP that the Liberals would fight for an All-Ireland Home Rule solution. He might have tried to be straight with them and encourage early compromise on Ulster. The Cura Mutiny. March 1914, Churchill wanted to put pressure on the UVF with a show of force by the army. He moved extra troops to ammo dumps in Ulster. This started a chain of events, including blunders by Seeley in the War Office, going beyond orders and speaking hypothetically about forcing Home Rule in Ulster that led to the mutiny. Ulster could step up the threat of the UVF without fear of the Great British Army attacking. Conclusion. Certainly the thought that Home Rule was Rome Rule occupied the minds of many Unionists, particularly the rank and file in Ulster under the influence of the Orange Order, but the idea that Home Rule would hit people's pockets was another major motivator. When this is added to by the political intrigues of the Conservatives and the encouragement offered by the heirs of the IPP and their Liberal allies, the picture is more complicated than simply a fear of Rome Rule.